Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Planet Destiny. I am the Black Link, joined once again by Story Machine to discuss the Age of Triumph Bungie livestream that just concluded. They just finished it a few minutes ago. We have got a lot of stuff to talk about today because it was a lot more than I was originally expecting. So we're going to be going over that over the course of this video. Story, first things first, overall thoughts. What did you think?
Well, we thought this would, speechless is probably the best way of putting it, really, because out of all of the things that I personally was hoping for to send Destiny 1 off into, its next generation, was all of the original raids being brought into the current now of the world,
Yeah.
So what do you reckon?
Oh, absolutely. When it came down to being the final live event of Destiny, they never really booked what was going to be coming during the spring as a separate expansion or DLC.
Yeah.
I always assumed it would just be, some last little bit of a content release event, sort of like the April Spring update we got last year that revamped the Challenge of Elders. And I always hoped that we'd be getting the return of old raids, and this is probably the best of the best possible solution for what I wanted coming through today.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Of course, we got quite a few things confirmed. They have, on the books, confirmed it. All raids are coming back in some way, shape, or form. They are all being brought up to relevant light level. That includes Vault of Glass, Crota's End, King's Fall. All of it's coming back. They're going to be sitting at a 390 light now and will be able to drop gear up to 400. This is exactly what I wanted to see.
Yeah, because now we've got a huge amount of work cut out for us. That is, although we're replaying content that we've played before, I think any Destiny fan can put their hand on their heart and say these are all, even the raids that you didn't particularly, have as a favorite thing, all the raids, all of us as Destiny players have thoroughly enjoyed playing the raids profusely since they came out. Vault of Glass, that was absolutely caned. We caned it when Dark Below came out and Crota's End was there. We were playing that raid every week to get the gear. So it's a really nice send off for the game, I think, to revitalize these horrendously nostalgic experiences that we've all really spent so much time in. And now there's, as we'll probably get to a little bit later on, there is incentive there to do so as well.
And I cannot wait to step foot back into the Vault of Glass, especially because now we have challenge modes for these old raids.
Exactly.
They also confirmed that Vault of Glass is going to have 2 challenge modes. It's going to be the Templar Challenge and the Athean Challenge. They also mentioned that the Athean Challenge is going to be the hardest thing in the game. I'm excited to see what that's going to be. And Crota's End is going to have 2 challenge modes at the Death Singer, I do believe it was, and Crota himself. So we've got challenge modes coming back. That means all 4 raids in Destiny have challenge modes now. But curiously, they made mention these raids are coming back at 390 to match Wrath of the Machine. We're not getting a max light level increase. It's staying at 400.
I don't feel bad about that. Do you feel bad about that?
No, that's what I was going to say. I assumed we'd be getting maybe a 10 to 20 light level increase, so we could end out Destiny at 420 Blaze It. But I'm not mad about us staying at 400 light, and I thought that their explanation for it was really good. They're just simply not looking to elongate the grind.
I can't stop thinking, mate, that the Atheon challenge is going to be to push him off.
One of the things they took time to mention, which made me super happy, Year 3 Vex Mythoclast. It's confirmed. It is absolutely coming. And then in a surprising twist for me, Deej went ahead and dropped that elemental primaries are returning.
This makes sense.
Yes.
I was thinking this all this week that it would just not make any sense. Most folks have stipulated as much as they could possibly stipulate that elemental primaries are sorely missed. And of course, with the Zalo Supercell breaking that, original decision and being the only primary with an elemental burn, it just makes sense. This all makes sense. Having those burns again, having those primary weapons with those burns, that just makes absolute sense. So I'm really looking forward to having those back. And they also mentioned that things are going to be more generous. Generous.
Right.
as Fudge, as Frick, as they were saying, which is another...
In the raids, by the way. They said the raids. You know, it's very famous, like stuff like Vault of Glass, the Forever 29s back in the day, just not getting the loot that you needed or wanted. And they said it's going to be
notoriously stingy. Notoriously stingy, yes.
So it's going to be a lot more generous when they return later this month, which makes me happy. Maybe some people who are out there still hunting the Crux of Crota will finally be able to get their hands on it.
Exactly, because Necrochasm is going to be coming back as well. So
they didn't explicitly mention it, but if Mythoclast is coming back, Necrochasm has to be returning, which makes me excited. And of course, completing all of these challenges will get you ultimately up to eventually rank 7. And at rank 7, you get a nice little package that basically unlocks a special shirt in the Bungie store that shows up. Yeah, it shows the Age of Triumph emblem. They showed that off a little bit. And you know what? I'm not above making the joke that, hey, they're granting us the option to give them money for something.
Yes, I did, because originally I thought...
Great final challenge.
That's kind of them, isn't it? Giving us a free shirt for completing
It's not even a free shirt, though. You have to pay for the shirt. You just get the option to buy the shirt.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the thought that counts, but like... Yeah, I honestly really don't know how to feel about that, to be honest.
I mean, I understand it. It's supposed to be something big and special to prove, hey, man, you went through the penultimate challenge of Destiny. You completed this book that has you doing everything in the game. Congrats, you get a shirt that you have to buy now. I mean, I can understand, the prestige of it, but I just thought it was funny. It's like, complete our book so you can have the option to buy this shirt from us.
Yeah, you can buy this shirt that was probably going to be, an iron-on print, not a screen print, that's probably going to be destroyed after a few washes. So, that one, I think at the moment, my knee-jerk reaction gets a bit of a thumbs down. Not in a nasty way. I appreciate the thought, for sure, but I think let's discuss that. Like, what else could there have been? Like, something in game, like another emblem or a shader. But in all honesty, that emblem or shader, as they've said multiple times now, it's not going to be carrying over.
That's the big
Destiny
thing.
2, which that is definitely a podcast discussion for us.
Yeah.
Offering you something physical, and of course, they're not going to pay for a shirt or give you a free shirt.
Give you a free merchandise,
Yeah, that, because I can just think of the cost. And yes, we've all probably spent a lot of money on silver. We bought all the DLCs. Maybe some of us have bought them multiple times, because of the way some of the sales plans were structured and stuff. So, yeah, I appreciate the sentiment, but because having something physical is probably a lot more worth it than having something virtual in-game, especially when nothing's going over apart from your face to Destiny 2, the face of your character.
It just made me laugh, but I'm really glad you brought up that second part, because, we're getting a bunch of emblems and shaders from this, but Deej kind of let slip over the course of this stream that the stuff that you're getting here, you'll be able to enjoy in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Kind of a soft confirmation that emblems and shaders probably aren't transferring to Destiny 2, which we did talk about on last week's podcast.
Yeah, we did.
And hoping that some of that customizable material would be making its way into Destiny 2. And it's looking like it's probably not going to be the case. Since I think they were talking about the Trials emblem in particular you get from the book, and saying, you'll be able to enjoy it in Destiny 1.
Yeah. Oh, and that makes me sad, because if there's one thing that I was kind of particular about wanting to carry through to the next, version, the next generation of Destiny, would have been the emblems that we've collected in year 1. Because, I mean, it's just assuming that Destiny 2 is going to have emblems. I personally think Destiny 2 will have emblems. I don't think they won't get rid of it, will they? It just doesn't make much sense. It's part of the, the customization of your Guardian. So, I don't know, but part of me thinks they're going to change that. Now, this is purely my speculation, but I think that has the possibility or the potential to be changed, So, obviously,
we'll certainly see.
We will certainly see, but that's probably one of the things that did cause a little sad face, in all honesty.
So we were hopeful that some of those glamour items would be making their way forward, like shaders and whatnot.
Exactly. I mean, the Trials of Osiris, those emblems, like, where did you get that emblem? That's really cool. Well, I played the game from the very, very beginning, and this was the first emblem, an exotic emblem that was available when you went flawless for a first time. Now, I can understand not wanting to alienate new players, but something like that, that's more of an honour to the people that stuck around from day one than it is alienating the new crowd that's coming in to play Destiny 2. So, and then if they keep that going, like if there's the emblems to gather in Destiny 2, then the people that joined in will know that, okay, the stuff that I earn now, will go through to the next generation. Is it massively important? Is it something to go out into the streets and start rioting about? No, absolutely not. I just think it's a bit of a wasted opportunity there that really, at this moment, to me, it doesn't really make much sense.
Moving forward, I thought this was going to be the end of the stream. I figured, okay, they've gone through 13 pages of a book. They've talked about retro raids coming back. We know we're getting raid challenges. We know we're getting new weapons and armor in these raids, especially some of these old raids. That's got to be the end of it.
Yeah.
Nope. Bungie threw us a hook here, taking us up to the director to show off their new weekly featured raid. Now, this is going to be a rotating icon on your directory, just like your Nightfalls, your weekly heroics, your daily playlist, your daily story mission. Every week, you're going to have a raid that's going to have a specific weekly challenge. And the one they showed off was Vault of Glass, and it's going to be a heroic 390 version of the Vault of Glass that has both the Templar Challenge and the Athean Challenge active. That's right. Yeah. All challenges will be active when the raid is the weekly featured raid. This makes me extremely happy. We also got to see that we're getting some Age of Triumph ornaments, which Deej then went on to confirm that the new raid gear for both the Vault of Glass for Crota's End and for the Wrath of the Machine. We're getting some new stuff for that too in terms of ornaments and whatnot.
Yep.
All of it's going to be able to be changed with ornaments in some way, shape, or form, and you'll get the Age of Triumph ornaments by completing the weekly featured raid. This is really cool. It
is, as long as one of those ornaments enables my Warlock helmet that I get from Vault of Glass to have the appearance of the facade of the Heathen Lord. If I can't have that helmet, if I can't wear that helmet again with pride, I am going to be so sad. I'm going to be so upset. There's going to be many tears.
It's going to be worth it to go through it, man, if we can get those ornaments on there with these full challenge modes. I think it's a really good idea for them when it's the weekly featured raid. When your raid is featured on the director, you're going to be able to go in there. All challenge modes will be active, so you'll be able to get all the kinds of rewards from that. That's super cool, really cool. And that's when Joe stated that the Athean Challenge might be the toughest thing they've ever created, which makes me extremely excited and extremely afraid because Athean was pretty tough in year one.
Yes.
Now, of course, these weekly featured raids, they are going to be on a rotation. And the very first raid we're going to be experiencing on the week of March 28th is going to be the revamped Crota's End. Everybody was asking, is Vault going to be the first thing? Nope. They said they're really happy with the way Crota's End has been changed. So they want that to be the very first revamped featured raid that we get to experience, which is perfectly fine with me. I'm happy going into seeing a new encounter with Crota. And I'm really happy for the chance at getting the Warlock Crota's End gear at a relevant light level. That Warlock chest piece was always my favorite. So I'm looking at a wrap up of the stream itself, and what they have written down as the notes is that only Crota is going to be available at 390 on week 1. Yep. Both Crota and Vault will be available on week 2. Crota, Vault, and Oryx will be available on week 3, and all 4 raids will be available on week 4. That's insane.
Yeah, that is. That's like we're gonna have to give up our day jobs to get
just play all the raids. Keep playing raids.
Yeah, man. I haven't seen the light of day for 4 weeks now. I'm still raiding.
That's A-okay with me, man.
Aye. And now we've got another stream, another reveal stream landing next week. Same time, same place. And then another one after that, all up until the consecutive release of the Age of Triumph. So
correct.
A stream next week. We're going to have a podcast this Sunday on Planet Destiny at 7 p.m. PST. And we're going to be chewing over everything as much as we can.
More in depth than we did here.
Right.
There's a lot of information to get through here today, and we're just trying to get our way through it.
Yeah. So
Although it is fair to say, before we end this, they did end their stream with a brand new trailer. I'm guessing the full cinematic trailer for The Age of Triumph. We got to hear some new lines from the speaker, Mr. Bill Nighy, returning to reprise that role. And it just kind of really cements the fact that Age of Triumph is going to be a celebration of you as a Guardian and of what Destiny 1 has been and what it's meant for us as gamers. And I'm very excited to see it coming March 28th.
Yeah.
A lot sooner than I thought.
Absolutely. Crack open the champagne and let's celebrate. That's what I'm going to do.
Right on, man. Right on. Well, you're right. We'll be learning a bit more about this next week, March 15th on Wednesday, when they've got the Age of Triumph weekly rituals live stream. And then after that, on the 22nd, they'll have the Sandbox update, which we haven't talked about in this video, but that's because we don't really know anything about it.
No.
We're getting another balance update very, very soon.
Yep.
And can't wait to dive into that.
Aye. So, I think we've done a pretty good job, TB, here, haven't we, really? I think we've...
I agree. I think we covered just about everything.
I'm going to be looking forward to reading all the comments and what everyone else thinks about in the section to this video. Like, if you slap all your thoughts and feelings and your opinions and your hopes and faiths and everything in the comment section, we'll have a good read through everything, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific time for the Planet Destiny podcast. Bring your mum and your dad.
They're interested.
All right then, folks. Until the next time, take care of yourselves and each other.